will start off in our comfortable seated position today. And we will kind of get going pretty quickly, but I do want to give us a little bit of time to get warmed up and get moving before we start our work today. So welcome, Yoga Pilates Wednesday morning. My name is Sarah if you're new, although I think I recognize almost everyone's names here. So this comfortable seated position, we're just going to find some body awareness and some breathing. So if this is comfortable for you, you can meet me there. If you want to have the legs long or the knees bent and the feet planted, that also works just fine for today, whatever feels comfortable. I'll spend a couple moments in this position. So like I said, the first thing that we're going to do, we're actually going to start with our breathing today, and then we'll move into bringing our awareness to our body. So once you find that comfortable seated position, I just want you to take first a moment to allow either your eyes to close or your gaze to just relax down towards the floor, so we're not straining our eyes to look at anything in particular. And then I just want you to notice where your breathing is today as we get started. So maybe you naturally take a little bit deeper of inhales and exhales. Maybe when you start your workday and you're a little bit stressed in the AM, your breath gets a little bit shallow. I just want you to notice where you're at without any judgment. Totally fine. That's why we're here today, is to work on that awareness and to work on that breath. And then once you've noticed where you're at, I want you to take a couple of moments and just allow the breath to flow in and out. So not focusing on deepening through your inhales and exhales, but just feel as you inhale, bringing it in through the nose and exhale out through the mouth. So just kind of adjusting to that. Notice what the air feels like as it flows in, and then allowing your lungs to warm it up, and then what it feels like as it flows out. After you've taken a couple of those breaths, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth, now I want you to focus on starting to deepen through those inhales and exhales. With that inhale, I want you to really allow for that expansion of the lungs. Feel what it feels like to give them that space to allow the chest, the ribs, and the belly to expand as you inhale. Maybe that brings your spine a little bit longer. And then as you exhale, thinking about relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the muscles in the face, relaxing the core, upper, lower back. Taking a couple of nice deep breaths there, finding that expansion and that relaxation. Giving me 3 more nice deep breaths in this nice, easy seated position. And that last one, really exaggerating that inhale, really exaggerating that expansion, and allowing that total relaxation all the way through the body as you exhale. Now from here, trying to simultaneously continue with those deep breaths, but also we're going to start to bring that body awareness in. So trying to keep going with those deep inhales and exhales, finding that expansion and relaxation. But from here, we're going to take our scan of the body. And I'm not going to lead us through it in the way that I normally would, but I just want you to start either from the top of the head or from the tips of the toes and travel towards the center of your body and then back out in the other direction, noticing how you're feeling, noticing if you find any points of tension or any places that are particularly sore. Maybe there's some spots that feel good. As you do that, I invite you to also find any range of motion that feels good. So if you feel like you'd like to roll out the neck, find some initial spinal twists, find some seated cat and cow, whatever feels right. We're going to take 5 or 6 breaths here just to take that scan of the body at your own pace. Find those spaces that there is tension or that feels good. And then continuing with those deep breaths as maybe you find those ranges of motion. And if no range of motion feels better for you, if you want to stay right in center, I invite you to also stay right in center. Sometimes that feels good to just keep that focus on the breath, keep that focus on making sure that you're really giving each part of the body the attention that it needs this morning. Taking about 3 more nice deep breaths here, completing that scan of the body, finding those nice deep inhales and exhales, finishing out that range of motion with 3 to 4 final breaths. When you finish those final breaths in that centered position, we are going to move into our spinal twist. So if you have those legs long, you're welcome to keep them there, but sometimes it's more comfortable to pull them into that cross position for our spinal twist. And then whenever you're ready, we're just going to start to find it, connecting your breathing with your range of motion. So each inhale is going to bring you through center and find that long spine. Each exhale, you're going to choose a direction, twist over there, open the shoulders towards that wall. Use those hands for a little bit of support, one behind the hips, one on that opposite leg. And then just kind of moving side to side with the pace of those nice deep breaths. Noticing how that spinal twist helps your spine feel a little bit different as you change its ranges of motion. And really connecting it with your breath. So trying to move as you breathe, trying to breathe as you move. Awesome. Go ahead and find 3 more nice deep breaths for me here. So 3 more changes of direction. If you need that 4th to even up, I invite you to also take that. But when you finish those last 3 to 4, just bringing it back to center, bringing that focus back onto your breathing. And then we're just going to change positions here. So I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me, but you're welcome to face the same direction that you already are. All we're going to do to change positions is release those feet, bend the knees, and plant the feet. So not super close into the body, not out super long, but just a nice, easy bent knee with the planted foot. When you get there, just making sure you have a little bit of space behind, and then we're just gonna move the spine in that opposite direction. So we found our spinal twist, we're gonna move forward and backward into flexion, and I'm just gonna walk my hands beside my body to kind of guide me. As I inhale, I'm gonna walk them behind me, put a little pressure into the palms, open up through the chest, round the spine out, up towards the ceiling. As I exhale, I'm gonna walk the fingertips forward towards the toes and just kind of drape my upper body, my torso onto the tops of my legs. So again, just kind of moving with the pace of your breath. Those deep inhales pull you back. That deep exhale shifts you forward. So just moving a few times in each direction here. Maybe you find a pause in either one to get a little bit deeper of a stretch. Maybe you move just a little bit faster of a pace as your breath quickens a little bit, just to kind of get the spine moving. Nice. Go ahead and find twice more in each direction. So 2 more nice deep breaths from wherever you are. And then just kind of bringing it back to center, that neutral spine. When you get back to center, we're going to move forward with just a lateral stretch. So once again, I'm just going to move so you guys can see me. You can keep the feet and the knees right where they are. And all we're going to do is use our breath once again, but this time we're going to move in that extra range of motion, so our side to side. So our inhale is going to bring our arms out and up towards the ceiling. With each exhale, you'll just pull one hand down towards the mat. the other arm up over top. And then like I said, that inhale pulls us through center. That next exhale brings us to that other side. Once again, I just want to invite you to kind of move at your own pace here. Nice, easy, side to side. Maybe take an extra second or two in one direction or the other. And again, moving your motion with your breath and your breath with your motion. Nice. Go ahead and find 2 more nice deep breaths for me here. So one more time in each direction. When you finish those last 2, that final inhale brings those fingertips back to center, and then that exhale circles them down and around. All right, now that we've kind of got our spine moving in a couple of different directions, we're gonna get right into our core work today. So from here, all I want you to do is roll it right back down onto the mat. Keep those knees bent and those feet planted, and we'll kind of get moving, like I said, nice and easy, but we'll get right into that core work. So the first thing that we're going to do from the floor here is we're going to start off with an activation of the upper core and some crunches. So I want you to point the fingertips up towards the ceiling, and all we're going to do is lift the head and shoulders up off of the floor, using the core to come up, keeping the neck nice and neutral, and then rolling back down. So we're keeping it nice and simple to get started. A little roll up, and then a little roll back down. Just the head and shoulders come up, and then back down. Finding that exhale as you roll up, and inhale to bring it back down. Couple more of these, nice, easy, small range of motion. Nice, give me 3 more. When you finish that third, just releasing the head and shoulders back down onto the mat. Take those hands back down by your side, and then I want you to pull those knees up to our tabletop position. So the knees are bent at 90 degrees, the hips are planted on the floor. We're going to do a triple range of motion kind of here. So we'll do a single leg lower with one side, we'll do a single leg lower with the other side, and then we'll do a double leg lower to finish it out. So we're kind of alternating through this. Hands can be up to your side, or you can pull them under those hips. We're going to keep the knees bent all the way through this range of motion. We've got one leg is going to come down, knees bent, heel taps the floor, bring it back up to center. The other leg is going to come down, heel taps the floor, and then back up to center. And then we'll bring both down at the same time. So both heels tap the floor, and then bring it back up to center. As you do this, rotating through those 3 different ranges of motion, I want you to kind of notice your lower back, notice how it feels. If you have the hands under the hips, it's a little more supported. If you have the hands out to your side, it's going to be a little bit tougher on the core. So if you feel like you need more of a challenge, making sure that those hands aren't underneath the hips. If you feel like you need a little bit less of a challenge, you can shift them underneath there. And just moving with this range of motion, warming up the lower core here for a couple more moments. Nice, looking good. All right, wherever you are, I want you to complete one more full set of these. So if you're partway through one, finish that one out and then give me one more. If you just finished that last one, give me one more. And then I want you to just keep those knees at that tabletop when you finish out. So keeping those knees up in the air right here, keeping them back nice and flat, and taking your time to finish out that final round. When you get done and those knees are back at tabletop, we're going to move back to the upper core with some crunches. I want you to place the hands behind the ears, and then same range of motion. We're just lifting the head and shoulders off the floor, and then lowering back down. So bringing those knees up reduces the support so the feet aren't on the floor anymore. We're just taking this challenge up just a tiny little bit. We're just finding those crunches for a couple more moments as this transitional exercise for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and lower the head and shoulders down to the floor. Bend the knees and plant the feet. We're going to activate through the legs up next. So this will get us ready for our yoga flow when the chime comes. Just go ahead and pick those hips up into our nice easy bridge here. So when you get into this bridge, those feet are planted, we've got a little pressure through the whole bottom of the foot. Those hands can be wherever's comfortable, so maybe they're out to your sides, maybe you bring them up and just kind of allow them to rest on the hips so you can notice when they're drifting back down towards the floor. Now from this position, you kind of have two options. It can be kind of a passive hold, or it can be a really active hold. I want it to be more active. So sure, you could release and relax all of your muscles. The legs can be kind of just limp and you're just using those hips to keep them up high. But what I want you to do is really think about activating through the muscles all the way from the toes up to the shoulders. So moving your way up, activate through the bottoms of the feet, press them into the floor, activate through the calves, squeeze the glutes in the upper legs, activate through your core, like you're trying to look like you have a six-pack, and then think about those shoulders, not necessarily pulling them up towards the ears, but maybe you just ball those hands into fists and activate through the arms. Now this should feel a little bit different if you've activated all those muscle groups than just that passive hold, a little bit tougher. This just kind of demonstrates how you can have that mindfulness of activating through your muscle groups as you find ranges of motion. You can make any workout tougher. Next big exhale releases all those muscle groups and relaxes those hips towards the ground. We're going to move right into our roll-ups up next. So I want you to bring that nice inhale to bring those arms up overhead. That exhale is going to roll us all the way up off of the floor. So using as little momentum with those hands as you can. When you get to the top, our inhale finds that long spine, and our exhale rolls us back down. We're just going to do a couple of those that way, and then we'll take it up a notch. Inhale, arms are overhead. Exhale rolls us up off of the floor. Inhale finds that long spine, and exhale rolls us back down. Keep it moving in that range of motion at the pace of your breath here. Finding those inhales and exhales, only using as much momentum as you need to get off of the floor. So if you need a little bit more, you need to swing those arms a little bit to get you up, that's totally fine. But if you can use less, I want you to try to use less. So once again, really challenging the core here. How you can make this a little bit tougher is taking that momentum out of it, moving a little bit slower. Nice work. Give me 3 more of these roll-ups here, you guys. Looking good. Great, I got 2 more. And 1 more for me, taking your time, moving at your pace. When you're finished, we're just gonna meet down on the ground, so rolling it back. And all we're gonna do from here is just take this up a notch. So I want you to keep that left foot planted in that knee bend. I want you to take that right leg out long. So we're just kind of changing our base of support here. You've got 2 options for this. You can keep it with that regular roll up, where you just kind of change it up by increasing that intensity by lengthening that leg, or to take it up extra in challenge as you roll up. You're bringing that foot up off of the floor. We're still using the left for support, and then we're just rolling back down at the same time. So 2 options there. Go ahead and get moving in that. Once again, you can use it as that normal roll up with just a little bit lower of support. Still use those hands for momentum if you need to, or to up that challenge, you can lift the leg at the same time as you lift the torso up off of the floor. So choosing one of those, giving me a few times on this first side, finding that breath, and then we'll change it up a little bit. Nice. Give me 2 more of these, whichever of those options you chose. So 2 more with that right foot long. Those last 2, I invite you to move right into that other side. So bending that right knee, planting that foot, lengthening that left leg, and once again, seeing 2 options, finding a couple on this second side. That roll up can just be with that leg long, or if you'd like that challenge, you can bring that left leg up to meet you when the torso comes up. Using your breath still, keeping on going here. Nice work, you guys.
Doing so much going.
Good job, good job. All right, give me 2 more of those, last 2.
And then we're gonna change up that muscle group a little bit for us here. Give that core front a little break. Final 2. And then when you're done, all I want you to do is bend both of those knees and plant those feet. Take those arms out into a nice big T. And then you're just gonna find a nice easy spine twist to give that core front a little bit of a recovery. So both knees go to one side. And then you can just bring them a little bit back and forth through center. And that nice windshield wiper, a little faster or slower if it feels good. Just finding that spinal twist. Ooh, my back always cracks the first time I do this every day. All right, just finding maybe once or twice more on each side. Finding that nice easy spinal twist. And then go ahead and bring those knees back to center. Now, we did those leg lowers with the knees back. We're going to just take it up a notch. So I want you to point those toes up towards the ceiling. Again, for a little more challenge, the hands can be up to your sides. For a little bit less stress on that lower back, they can be under those hips. And we'll just start off the same way that we did with that one. We'll lower that right leg. We'll bring it back up. We'll lower that left leg. We'll bring it back up. And then we'll do that double leg lower. Now, again, to increase your challenge, you can lift the head and shoulders up off the floor and kind of float them there to challenge the upper core while you're challenging the lower core. And just kind of moving here at whatever pace works. You got the right, you got the left, and then we got the double. Trying to keep that focus on the lower back, making sure that it's not changing where it is too much. So it can be a little bit up off the floor, but as you lower both legs, it shouldn't increase the amount that it's up off the floor. Trying to keep kind of that natural curve of the lower back. Now, if you're ready to take this up a notch, I just want you to take it to entirely double leg lowers. So we're taking those single leg lowers out of the equation and leaving it with just those double leg lowers. If you aren't ready to take it up a notch, just of course feeling a little bit tired today, I invite you to just keep it at that alternating single leg, and then double leg, or just take it down to that single leg. We'll be just for another couple of moments. So choosing the appropriate challenge for you today. Don't forget to breathe. We're moving in this range of motion for another 5, 4, 3, 2, nice work, and 1. Finish out the one you're on, and then go ahead and pull those knees in towards the chest. Now we've got one more core challenge from this position, and then we'll change it up a little bit. We're going to do our double leg stretch. So from here, we've got both knees in towards the chest. You can lift the head and shoulders once again off of the floor for a little extra challenge, or if, again, the core needs a little break, you can leave them down there, released and relaxed. From here, we're gonna extend long in both directions, so the arms and the legs go out in opposite directions, and then we circle the arms around to catch the knees and pull them back in. Like I said, last core front focused exercise for now, and then we'll move on to something a little bit different. So stick with me, you guys got this. We will get a nice long break for that core front after this. So keep breathing, keep going. Nice work, you guys. Looking good, looking good. We're almost there. We've got about another 10 seconds of this. You got it. For 5, 4, 3, give me one more, 2, and 1. Nice work. Go ahead and pull the knees in towards the chest. Release the head and shoulders down. Maybe give it a little rock side to side or in little circles. Giving the lower back a little bit of a break. Giving the core front a little bit of a break. And then we're going to bring it to hands and knees. So I invite you to either roll up and over or to one side and press up. So however is going to be best for you to orient yourself and bring it over to hands and knees. We'll spend about 2 exercises over here, and then we'll move into a little bit of yoga to finish us off. So if you need a little bit of extra padding for these 2 exercises, you can always roll the mat up under the knees. But we'll start not counting as one, but a cat and cow just to get us situated. So when you get there, just take a couple moments, find those inhales and exhales.
All right, so now we're going to take this into our first of our 2 ranges of motion. So all I want you to do is add it into that bird dog. So our inhales are still going to drop the belly and lift the chin, but we're just going to take the right hand and the left foot out long in either direction. And then we're going to pull the elbow in towards the knee, the exhale, round the spine up towards the ceiling, and then just kind of moving with that, sticking to one side for now. We'll just do this for a couple of moments here on this first side, and then we'll switch it up. Got a lot of back work here. So once again, I want you to think about activating those muscles when they're long. Think about activating through the glutes, through the legs, through that whole spinal column as you extend. Nice. Give me 3 more on this side. Good work, good work. When you finish that third, we're just going to switch to that second side. So I want you to place that right hand and that left knee down. Take a break if you need it. And then when you're ready, same thing. We're just switching to that other side. So the left hand and the right knee extend. And then we pull it in with our exhale. Elbow comes towards the knee. If you can't quite reach it, maybe you just bring it back down almost to that starting position. And then extend back out long. Nice work, you guys. Making sure that on that standing hand, you're pressing through all 10 fingers and not just putting the pressure onto the wrist. Give me 3 more on this side. Nice work. When you finish that third, just go ahead and bring it back to hands and knees. And then we'll finish this hands and knees portion before we hit our final flow with just a little bit of hip work. So all we're going to do is going to be hip circles. So I want you to take that right knee and just float it up off of the floor. We're going to press it towards the back of the room, circle it around, and bring it down on the side. So just a nice big circle with the knee, keeping the knee bent, bringing it in those circles. We'll do it in one direction for a couple of moments, and then we'll switch directions. Find a little bit of work here before we hit our flow. Getting those hips warmed up and ready to go. So when we hit our warrior 2, we're all set. Nice work, you guys. Give me 2 more nice big circles in this direction, and then same knee, just change directions. So when you change directions, all you'll do is just bring the knee out to the side, around behind, and then down from behind. If you're already doing that direction, just do the other direction. Switch it up. Changing the direction of those circles. Couple of seconds here. Nice. Awesome. Give me 2 more in this direction on this leg. Last 2 circles here. When you're done, you can place that knee down. If you need a tiny little break, you can press the hips back for a moment. And then when you're ready, we're just going to start it up on the other side. Same thing, bending that knee, pressing it back, around to the side, and down in those nice big circles. So when you're ready for that second side, getting going there. Same thing, we'll do a couple moments on this side in this direction, and then we'll switch it up. Looking good, you guys. Awesome, getting those nice big circles in. Give me 2 more in this direction. When you finish those 2, just change that direction up. Last little bit of core hip work before we move into our flow. This is it. Last 10 minutes, we'll hit that yoga. Nice. Good. Give me 3 circles in this direction. When you're done, I want you to take those knees wide, bring those big toes close together, and press those hips back towards that child's pose. Give those hips just a tiny little break, and then we're just going to get going. So we're getting this child's pose into our flow today. So just kind of notice where your knees are. So where you'll want to bring them down onto the mat. And then that little place where we're sitting those hips back. So from here, I want you to put a little pressure into those palms. Lift the hips just slightly, curl the toes under, and then press those hips up and back. into that downward facing dog. So we're gonna keep it pretty simple in our flow today. Just a couple of quick ranges of motion here. So from this downward facing dog, we're gonna take that right foot up and back into our three-legged dog. So pressing it up, the heel goes towards that back wall, a little bend through that left knee, and then we're just gonna sweep it all the way forward into that almost lunge position. When you get there, make sure the ankle's right under the knee. We're gonna turn that left heel down, lead with the left arm. We're gonna come right up into our warrior two. From our warrior two, our next inhale turns over that front palm, lifts it up and back, peaceful. Nice big stretch there. From here, I want you to lengthen that front leg, extend back out to center. We're gonna find our triangle. So hinge forward at the hips, and then cartwheel down. So right fingertips are towards the floor, left fingertips are up. From here, we're gonna bend that knee again. So right knee bends once again. Left hand comes down to the mat. We recenter those hands, lift the left heel up, and we're back in that low lunge position. It's a little bit of a different transition. From here, we're gonna go right back to that downward facing dog. So planting those hands, pressing that right foot back to the left, downward facing dog. Next, so like I said, we're gonna bring in that child's pose. So from here, nice and easy, I want you to set those knees down and just briefly sit those hips back towards the heels, just for a little stretch there. That next inhale lifts those hips back up, curls those toes under, and we exhale to press the hips up and back into our downward facing dog. Same thing on that left side. Inhale brings that left foot up and back, three-legged dog. Nice bend through that right knee. We sweep it forward into that lunge position. We set that right heel down and lead with the right arm this time, cartwheeling up into that warrior two. Our next inhale flips the front palm, and we reverse it. When you get there, nice big stretch, then I want you to lengthen that front leg and open up those arms for bringing it into that triangle. So both legs are long. We hinge forward at the hips, bring those fingertips out, and then bring those left fingertips down towards the mat. Nice big triangle stretch here. And then we're gonna bend through that left knee, bring those right fingertips down, bring the right heel up. We're back in that low crescent lunge, and then plant those hands, the left goes back to meet the right downward facing dog. Once again, we're back to that child's pose. So when you get there, set those knees down, press those hips back towards the heels. Nice little stretch. Next inhale, lifts the hips, curls the toes under. Exhale, presses them up and back. Keep them going, bringing it to another time on each side. Right foot, three-legged dog. Inhale, presses it up and back. Exhale, sweeps that right foot forward, plants it down, turns that left heel down, lead with the left, cartwheels those arms up, warrior two. Next inhale, flips the front palm, reverses it. Lengthen that front leg. So we're back, ready for that triangle. Extend those arms out long in either direction. Hinge forward at the hips, fingertips go forward, and then we bring it down, triangle position here. So arms, left fingertips up towards the ceiling, right towards the floor, bend through that right knee. Bring that left hand down, turn that left heel up. We're back in that low crescent lunge. Next, go ahead and plant those hands, bring the right foot back to meet the left, downward facing dog. Set those knees down, set those hips back, brief child's pose. Inhale, lifts those hips up, turns those toes under, presses those hips up and back, downward facing dog with that exhale. Three-legged dog on the left. Inhale, brings it up and back. Exhale, sweeps it forward, plants that foot, right heel comes down, right arm sweeps up, warrior two. Inhale, reverses it, flips the front palm, up and back. Lengthen that front leg. Bring those arms out nice and long, back to that triangle. As we exhale, we hinge forward at the hips. We bring those left fingertips down towards the mat, right fingertips go up. Nice. When you get there, look, it comes back into that right hand down. Readjust those hands, turn the right heel up. When you're ready, plant the hands, step the left back to meet the right, downward facing dog. Go ahead and set those knees down nice and gently onto the mat. Sit those hips back into our child's pose. We're gonna go one more time on each side. Our inhale lifts our hips, curls our toes under. Exhale, presses the hips up and back. One more time into that downward facing dog. Last time on the right here. Our inhale presses that foot up and back, three-legged dog. Our exhale sweeps that right foot forward, plants the foot right underneath that knee, turns the left heel down. Inhale, brings that left arm up back into our warrior two. Nice. Next inhale, reverses it. Flip the front palm, lift it up and back. When you get there, I want you to lengthen that front leg nice and long. Exhale brings us back out to center. We've got our triangle. Hinge forward at those hips. Right fingertips come down towards the mat. Left fingertips go up. When you get there, that bend through that right knee. Bring that left hand down. Readjust. Bring that left heel up. We're back in that low crescent lunge. Right foot goes back to meet the left. Downward facing dog. Final time into our child's pose. Nice and easy. Set those knees down. Sit those hips back. We've got one more time through just to even up and hit that second side. Inhale, presses the hips up, curls the toes under. Exhale, presses the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale brings us into that three-legged dog with the left. Sweeps that left foot forward, plants it down. Turn that right heel down. Bring it up to our warrior two. Next inhale, flips the front palm, lifts it up, reverses it. Exhale brings us back, lengthens that front leg, brings us back out to center, last time in our triangle. Hinging forward at those hips, and then bringing those left fingertips down to the mat. Nice, next exhale bends through that left knee one final time here. Brings that right hand down, readjusts, lifts that right heel up. When you're ready, plant those hands, step the left foot back to meet the right. Back in our downward facing dog. Perfect. And then one final time, go ahead and nice and easy, set those knees down, sit the hips back towards the heels for a child's pose. All right, awesome. I'm just gonna finish off with a couple of nice deep breaths today. So all I want you to do from here is walk those hands in and roll it up to those knees. Now from here, you're welcome to stay sitting on those knees if that's a comfortable position for you, or if like me, that's not super comfortable, I invite you to bring it over to a comfortable seated position, whatever that might mean for you. We're gonna finish out with a couple of nice deep breaths. Like I said, we've got about a minute left. So next big inhale brings those arms out and up. We're gonna find a lateral stretch in each direction of this one. So our exhale brings that right hand down to the mat. Left arm comes up over top. Next inhale brings us through center. Same thing, other side. Exhale brings us down. Left hand to the mat. Right arm up over top. Next big inhale brings us back to center. And our exhale pulls us down and around. One more nice deep breath right here. Our inhale brings us out and up. And then our exhale is just going to bring us right back down and around. And then this final one, our palms are going to be overhead. Brings us up and up. Palms meet high. Exhale pulls our hands down to heart center. Thank you so much, as always, for sharing your Wednesday morning with me. The light in me honors, the light in you bow. As we say, namaste.